You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Roger Ants for Black and White Sports. Well, the other day, ESPN shot the deuce to Katie Nolan. Well, I'm sure there's a number of reasons for that. One would be her shows just didn't draw the ratings they were looking for. Well, now we have a member of the sports media who's ultra woke, The Guardian, has swooped in to write a little hit piece on ESPN. Basically, virtue signal on behalf of Katie Nolan. All right. And celebrate her. And this is where I got the real problem with all this. ESPN should have just kept her on because she's got a vagina. I mean, that's it. They should have kept her on because she's got a vagina, which I hate to break it to you. So do a lot of other women. That also makes her no better than anybody else. And that's where I run into the issue with all of this crap. Your shows don't have to perform. Your shows don't have to draw views. Your shows don't have to get ratings. As long as you got that vagina, you should keep a job. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. At the end of the day, viewers equals dollar signs. Now, what's funny about all this is the exercise in delusion at ESPN. All this wokeness they have done. They have tanked their entire brand going woke. Now, we know they've moved in a more quote-unquote diverse direction, which means, if you're a white female, you're subject to get the axe. Don't believe me? Ask Rachel Nichols. So you got to be woke like Katie Nolan, and she is woke, okay? She's out there virtue signaling like crazy. But you also got to be black or some other ethnicity, although we have shown it's best to be primarily black these days if you want to succeed in the media business like ESPN. Now, The Guardian, okay, in writing this article, it's so funny how they don't mention how woke ESPN is. Now, of course, they're not going to use that terminology, right? But their goals for being diverse and tanking their brand, and this is why this is sort of funny, that the sports media, and I mean, The Guardian's they're not even a sports media outlet, but it's so funny that these articles are getting written and people are taking shots at ESPN because they went so hard on being woke, but it's never enough now, is it? It is never enough. You tank your whole brand and you're still getting hit pieces like this written about you, about Katie Nolan. Now, let's get to this author, Melissa Jacobs, who I guess believes Katie Nolan should keep a job because she's got a vagina. ESPN should have built around the brilliant Katie Nolan. Her exit is their loss. The star follows in the footsteps of Jemele Hill. Well, look, when you start naming off Jemele Hill, and that's the first name you come up with, boy, you've lost me on having any credibility whatsoever. That's the most talentless hack I've ever seen that's been elevated in any platforms ever. I mean, Jason Whitlock, I believe a while back, said she's supposed to be a journalist, but name one damn thing she's ever wrote that was worth reading. He's right. Carrie Champion, I'm going to be honest with you, I like Carrie Champion, and I think she is talented, and I think she's somebody that ESPN probably should have kept. Michelle Beadle, I used to be a huge Michelle Beadle fan. She lost her mind over Trump. As outspoken women no longer with the broadcaster. Only Katie Nolan could take an unpleasant topic like trolling of female sports journalists and turning it into an hilarious skit that makes your lungs ache from laughter. Yeah, except it didn't make enough lungs ache. Nobody was watching it. Nolan's secret society of women in sports media also made me, a woman in sports media, want to punch a wall and left me feeling empowered to rebel against systematic misogyny. If you're sitting back worried about the fact that there's so many men in the business, maybe you need to find another business. I'm sorry, but work harder at your craft. That's the Katie Nolan effect. You feel things. Oh, God. When ESPN hired Nolan in late 2017, it was a no-brainer. The uber-talented Nolan had quickly risen from a Boston bartender making YouTube videos in her spare time to being such an undeniable star that Fox created its own show for her, Garbage Time. The show was eventually canceled. Let me read that again. The show was eventually canceled due to low ratings, which this author tends to believe it's because of the time slot she was getting. Not because of her talent and the fact that nobody specifically wanted to tune in to watch her. But not for before winning a sports Emmy and earning Nolan cult status, her blend of hilarious bits and searing takes on sports' most uncomfortable issues, such as her takedown of the NFL for allowing Greg Hardy back in the league. Well, I got to give Nolan some credit for that. I don't think they should have let Greg Hardy back in the league either. Fox knew they had a special talent, but instead of finding Nolan a new role, they let her just sit under contract for 7 months before ESPN evidently swooped in. I wonder if you meant eventually there. I don't know. You would think a behemoth like ESPN would have a concrete plan for Nolan, especially given that she was given a contract and was reportedly worth more than $1 million a year. $1 million a year? Are you shitting me? Her own show, a weekly special edition of SportsCenter, or another known ratings earner, anything. But instead it offered her a vague description of her new show as a, quote, prominent digital presence while also making appearances across ESPN studio programming. Okay, so guys, what happens here is ESPN puts personalities out there for you to get to know. Well, they can look at the ratings down to the minute on their programming, radio, TV, you name it. And if the ratings don't hold or they don't improve when somebody's on, what is that going to tell ESPN? In hindsight, this already marked the beginning of the end of Nolan's tenure at ESPN. And that became official on Wednesday. Nolan announced on Twitter that she is no longer with the company. By the way, she had I believe she had a feud with Jason Whitlock a while back. And this is what she said. I thought about sending this tweet for weeks, and I still have no clue how to make it not make you all roll your eyes. Alice, the obvious thing has happened. I am no longer working for ESPN. I'm really grateful for my time here. I made incredible friendships and valuable mistakes. Okay, well, at least she's got some self-awareness if she thinks she made mistakes. ESPN has employed no shortage of sports anchors and personalities known for their humor. Kenny Mayne's a legend. Michelle Beadle, there was a time when Beadle was great. And Dan Le Batard, also a time when Dan Le Batard was great. And then he lost his mind, jumping on that social justice train. But in Nolan, the network had a comedic tour de force, a driven and talented creative genius with a proven track record of executing unique material. A proven track record? If it doesn't draw ratings, that's not a proven track record. Nolan is the kind of rare talent you build around, not a quarterback you plunk into an archaic offense. You see these people that write these articles, when they're ultra woke, they always use that kind of language, archaic. Oh, God, come on. There's nothing wrong with the word traditional. I'm so tired of that word getting shit on. But ESPN neglected to do so. Instead of adding her talents to the heart of their universe, if she don't draw ratings, why are they going to put her at the heart of anything? And finally, having a shot to perfect that sports entertainment crossover piece, they never quite got right. They experimented with her on the peripheral. Without much fanfare, Nolan was tasked with hosting a version of SportsCenter for Snapchat, aimed at reeling in a younger audience. She also made guest appearances on Le Batard's Highly Questionable, where she developed an incredible chemistry with the host. But there was never a true high-profile role for Nolan at ESPN. She eventually launched her podcast, Sports ? And was finally given her own show, Always Late with Katie Nolan, in 2019, where she offered recognizable Nolan sketches like inviting fans who troll college kickers to attempt real field goals and reading the angriest sports stadium one-star Yelp reviews. But even Nolan's show was digital at first before making its way to ESPN2, again in less than an ideal time slot. Well, if they thought she deserved a better time slot, they'd have given it to her. All told, ESPN never embraced Nolan and missed an opportunity they may not have again for some time. Despite ESPN's apparent mismanagement of Nolan, her popularity continued to soar and spur on a new generation of sports journalists trying their luck in the sports humor space. Yet, it's hard to think of anyone offering the same blend of charisma, authenticness, and ability to make a viewer care about sports on a deeper level. Nolan follows in the footsteps of Jemele Hill, Carrie Champion, and Beadle as outspoken women who are no longer at ESPN. They go on to talk about she might get some opportunities with The Ringer or with Dan Le Batard, John Skipper's Meadowlark. So, here's my thing. You notice it was never Katie Nolan's fault. Katie Nolan admitted she made some mistakes. But this person writing this article at The Guardian, there was no blame to be thrown at Katie Nolan whatsoever. She should keep her job because she evidently inspired this journalist, and she should keep her job because she is only and strictly a woman. That's it. A funny woman, I guess, and humorous. But because you're a funny vagina, you're entitled to keep your role or stay with the network, or in this case, get promoted when your shows aren't doing well. I'm not sure this woman understands how business works. You know, viewers in television equal advertising dollars. And if you can't pull viewers, you're not going to stay on the air. And when I read this article, I was like, wait a minute. You're literally writing an article just to say, by the way, accusing the most woke network ever of not being woke enough, woke to the point of tanking their entire brand. And look, outside of live sports, ESPN's ratings are terrible. They're absolutely awful. And it's because, I mean, let's be honest, they've bent the knee to so many people like this person that wrote this article that they've destroyed their own brand. Now, I'm sure Rachel Nichols is somewhere going, I'm a woman, why didn't you keep me? Well, ESPN's lane now is diverse women. Okay. So, that's the reason, most likely, Katie Nolan and Rachel Nichols got sent the door. I mean, Rachel Nichols had a private conversation, and I guess you can't have private conversations anymore. Look, what I've seen of Katie Nolan has been somewhat entertaining. I'm not into the sports humor thing. I'm not into the sports entertainment crossover thing very much outside of wrestling. But look, I just put wrestling and football in two different categories. Okay, Katie Nolan wasn't drawing ratings, or they would have found somewhere better to put her. And look, there's been some great talent that has worked at ESPN. Linda Cohn was a woman who was on SportsCenter, and she's legendarily great. Okay? I have no problem with the fact that she's a woman, but you could tell Linda Cohn paid her dues and was great at her job, and you could see why they would promote her up into doing SportsCenters. All right? So I saw this article and was like, wait, this media entity literally believes Katie Nolan should have kept her job because she's got a vagina. Horse shit. I'm so tired of that. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Are you a big Katie Nolan fan? I mean, let me know in the comments section. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.